here.
Hello. Okay, which one? Where's that one? Can one of you guys say something?
No.
What?
Okay. We're gonna figure this audio stuff out as we go along.
Yeah.
As you can see, I have someone with me this week. So we're figuring this out on the fly. But the best time to figure that out is while I do the intro. So welcome everyone to the podcast, the Rodcast, where we've got a quirky cast of typecast characters cast out from the Castle Cascade and contemplating the fortified castle into which they've been cast. Casting out for a seeker, casting out for a favor, casting out for a two-time Emmy-nominated casting director whose past cast was a class act of cast characters casting lines out to sea which they rode on a cast iron boat. So today we've cast Shiver, who I forecast will castigate me thoroughly for this telecast. Also joining us for this broadcast...
Ready to cast off.
Also joining us for this broadcast is the cast-off castaway Stormy Winters. And here joining me to simulcast this newscast, the offcast outcast, who upcast sarcastically, that we've recast the old cast and a downcast miscast of discast Castrati, Nehkara.
Hi, that boat would sink.
Your boat would sink. And here I am, castrated without my castanets. Oh, and I forgot to cast CS.
I was just gonna say, like, what the hell? After that amazing thing, and I'm just sitting here going, "Oh, it's my turn. Oh, it went away. Oh, okay. All right. I see." How
So
it
who's
is
a
now.
castrati?
No, I actually worked on that a lot. The castrati, where are they? They were actually the recast, and the downcast, miscast of diecast castrati.
So what you're saying is the castrati didn't get cut.
Yes. It's a joke!
Excellent.
Do you get it?
No.
No, explain it. Then it'll be funny.
I hate you.
That's funny.
So, hey everyone, I'm back. This is the first time I've been back in a few weeks. Sorry about my absence. I apologize. I left you in the hands of Shiver and Jake, which...
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I honestly don't know why I put you through that, and I apologize that I did. I'm not bow-tied this week, not because I'm protesting against anything that SIG have done, but just because I just ran to the airport, picked Nehkara up, got back here, turned on the computer, set up this microphone, and here we are. There's just been no time.
You ran to the airport and picked him up. Why didn't you just use the car?
That would be a lot more efficient, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It seemed more personal.
I mean, that's
this way.
pretty much what it was invented for.
I needed the
fair enough.
exercise.
Is this a Canadian greeting ritual? Ugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
He actually picked me up on a moose.
It's the only way Canadians pick each other up.
Oh dear.
Why not
That
the-
can go different ways.
Yes, it can.
It can.
I'm just gonna leave that one down.
Cass, did you get picked up by David on a moose?
I'd
Picked
rather not
up.
talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Did the moose get away before you could put him back on it?
This is just weird casts already. This was a bad act. Would you like to join us?
No.
Oh.
I'm playing
Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
I don't think we have Mortal Kombat.
Well, whatever that one is.
Arms.
Arms.
You're playing Arms.
Yes.
Okay. How's Arms?
Mackenzie is better than me.
Well, yeah. That's to be expected.
Oh, so
Okay.
she's just gonna leave you hanging because you just insulted her.
It's how our relationship goes. It's a healthy relationship.
So I think we have to adopt you as a Canadian again, Shiver, because everyone here is Canadian except
Yeah.
for you.
He's Commonwealth though. That counts.
This is true.
Yeah, but he doesn't have an attractive prime minister.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that. I was just like, oh
There's
no.
so many ways that could end.
Yep. It
And
really
I
did.
don't find our prime minister attractive.
Oh, come
Let's
on.
just stop
Come
that.
on, he
No.
is good
ew.
looking.
Ew.
In fairness, your prime minister didn't ride into government on a broomstick.
This is true.
Yeah. Okay, so I assume that some people joined us here
And have left.
today and left because what is going on? I assume that at least some of you joined us to hear us talk about Star Citizen. For those of you that don't know, Eric will tell you what that is.
Star Citizen's a game.
I thought for a real moment now, I thought he was going to say, talking is what two humans do to communicate to each other.
No, I'm not going to explain what Star Citizen is because that would just bore everyone here who is intimately aware of exactly what it is.
Which is basically everyone.
See, this is why you need a copy pasta.
We do.
You just
A
what is
verbal-
Star Citizen?
You need like a verbal copy pasta.
Okay, I've got a thing here.
All right.
Okay, so first, no. You know what? Before we go, I'm gonna be. The keyboard's way over there, and the mouse is way over there, and we're sitting back here so that we look good. And I just, yeah. So before we do that, Shiver, how are you doing today?
Well, it's warm and Shiver need more sleep.
And more coffee.
Yeah.
Always more
Stormy,
coffee.
Stormy, how you doing?
More coffee.
More coffee?
More
So we've got 2 more coffees. CS, how you doing?
I'm apparently gonna fight our holiday in real life, so that's happening.
And,
See, but you can't hurt him our holiday, or I'd hurt you.
Oh.
No, I'd hurt him before he could even touch me, technically.
Wow. Wow.
And Nehkara, how you doing? More coffee?
I'm very nearly asleep.
So as you can see, everyone here is ready to talk about Star Citizen. Let's
Absolutely.
go through the list of Nehkara. Did you have time to watch ATV?
Nope.
Erris, did you have time to watch ATV? No. Shiver.
Yes,
Good.
I did.
But
I,
okay, so
the
Stormy, did you have time?
technical reasons I don't remember some of it.
So I watched some of it, but I was literally sitting at my desk at work transcribing my part while I was doing my job as well. So I don't know how much of it I actually managed to understand or yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, you need help? Okay, I'll just do it in between everything else I have going on.
Oh yeah, that always was fun. How about you, CS? Are you our knowledge man for the day, as always?
Did you have to ask? Did I watch
Did
ATV?
you watch
Well,
ATV?
technically, I watched lots of ATV. Yes, I did.
Oh,
Good.
I know.
Good. Somebody knows what's going on this week. So, CS, tell us all of what happened in ATV this week.
Well,
Item 2.0, item 2.0, item 2.0.
Yeah,
Pretty
we are
much.
definitely going to talk a lot about that.
Wait, Star Citizen only has 2 items?
yeah,
Yes.
that's all it is.
Yeah.
There's 2 items.
No,
And
20,
2.0.
isn't it?
Oh, yes, right. 20.
I will
Mhm.
also say, and I'm going to say this right at the beginning, everyone send us your questions, because I have a feeling that today's question period is going to be
Longer.
longer and involved, because there's a lot of us, and we like to talk. So, yeah, CS, let's talk ATV this week. Austin, right?
Yep. So there was 2 studio updates because anytime there's Austin, Turbulent also does theirs as well.
Yeah.
Obviously Turbulent was mostly Spectrum, but they also had something really cool in there. But I'll look at that in a second. Really, a lot of it is stuff that we've heard already. I mean, Subsumption, obviously the baseline of it is, it's been completed obviously for a while. Now they're just kind of rigging stuff in. They're getting the mission givers ready. There's going to be more than just Miles Eckhart, by the way. They showed an image of the improved Miles Eckhart. And it's funny, there's this huge debate going on right now between the old coat and the new coat. People are like, we like the old coat better, instead of like this new,
Well,
like, it looks like a emo trench coat.
The new coat is shiny. It shouldn't be shiny.
Yeah. And so
Tone
people
down
are
the
like,
shiny.
we like the new face, but we want the old one. So, people are going over that. But, the other interesting thing was them adding the navigation beacons. We obviously knew it was going to happen, but it's kind of nice to know it is happening, and it allows people to actually set their own waypoints that you can quantum travel to. The other interesting thing is this is how information is going to be sold, because you could set a nav beacon, let's say, to a derelict ship. and you could sell it to someone who's going to salvage, or you could or you could hack the beacon, and if you know it's a high travel place, then you could sell it to pirates, that kind of stuff. So immersion gameplay really has an opportunity here, so that's kind of exciting to
Does
see.
it have any eggs with it? I like my bacon to have eggs.
They're not in the basket, if that's what you're asking.
This is actually something that this is something I honestly wondered about quite a bit, because just thinking back to, again, the only other Chris Roberts game that I've really played, which was Freelancer, you never...
Amazing game.
Absolutely amazing, but because all the fast travel was done along those predetermined corridors, you basically never left those corridors. Like, you were in there so often, or you'd go off a tiny bit to get something and come... I like this beacon idea, and I like the idea of letting... This kind of means that players will, in effect where everyone goes and how people get there. Like, I mean, one of the things that explorers could do is find the quickest route from, one place to another, and then sell that information and sell their beacon frequencies to traders, to haulers, because they want the fastest way, right? And it just adds that little tiny touch of player-owned beacons adds, I think, so much to the game that most of us probably never even thought of, right?
Not only that, but because of the orbital system, this crap will be changing constantly.
Yeah.
So you might even have an organization that specializes in mapping trade routes for traders, and be like, because it'll change all the time.
Yeah.
And so you're like, well, what's the best way to get from here to there today?
Yeah.
Well, you go this way.
Yeah. And you might even, you've got one of the typical things you see in space games and MMOs, and even things like Euro Truck Simulator, is the price of commodities will vary on different days in different places. So you might actually have organizations that not only track the beacons, but also track the cost, the value of goods, and be able to find, okay, so this is cheaper on Terra, so from Terra to here, this is the most efficient and the most money making stretch for today. You can make most money today running this stretch, and that information can be sold, and then that information can also be bought by pirates, and it's just...
Or even even you could have an information service that's like, don't run Terra to Goss today because there's a giant fleet battle in your way. You'll have to go all the way around. So
and
go this route
reroute
instead.
them. Yeah,
this route instead. It gives a lot of possibilities for gameplay. I did hear a rumbling or something. Okay, I apologize, folks. I've been a little bit tuned out getting ready for my trip. See, I'm here. But I heard that this navigation system is not permanent. Is that correct? Or the current form of it?
I am not 100% sure about that. So
I heard something about navigation beacons being like a sort of stepping stone.
Well, the way it'll work is that right now the beacons will be something that you have to maintain. They're not just you place them and they're infinite. They do have a fuel source, so they do need to be refueled. So I don't know if this is
Oh, that's probably what temporary meant. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That
yeah.
makes more sense.
So
That makes more
I
sense.
don't. They didn't say anything about this as an iteration. Obviously, they probably will iterate of some form, but no, these beacons, they do require upkeep. It's not something that you just place and they're there forever until you delete them. But that's probably what they meant. But yeah, no. So there is actually some an org that has specific routes to certain places. Obviously they'll have to care about maintaining their spots or whatever their routes. So that was pretty much with design. Apparently Tony finished converting subsumption tech to Linux for integration to the back end, so that was kind of nice. And then the shopping service is also ready to be hooked up, so that's cool. Josh Coons,
Does that mean you're going to get your capes?
Yes, capes.
Down with capes.
Capes. Oh, I want a cape.
Down with capes.
I want a cape in real life. I think capes need to come back.
I think that might be the biggest controversy.
When were they ever in?
The biggest controversy between Stormy and CS is about capes.
Oh,
Capes.
hey, capes.
Capes. Capes.
Mrs. Erris, can I
Um,
wear a cape?
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, and here,
Oh.
Cass, I was gonna say, tell him no. Tell him no.
Well, I mean,
It's like
you
the worst
can't wear it
fashion
out
faux
in
pas.
public.
But at home I can wear one.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna get a cape.
Well, there we go. That works. There you go.
Can I wear
I
it?
totally would not go anywhere if you wore a cape.
Wow.
You realise that he is just going to be wearing the cape. He will be walking around the
Oh
house
my-
at various points and go, "Aha!"
It's not any different than.
Oh, okay.
It's probably better.
Yep. Yep.
He'd be more covered with the
Probably
cape.
better.
Wow.
Remember, there's a G audience in your house.
Is there? I think she's off. Yeah, she's.
He's practicing.
Yep. He's practicing.
Leaving again.
He left again.
There's only one kind of cape, full-length cape. You don't bother with a waist length.
Waist length is not.
Yeah.
No. It's got to be ankle length.
And
David's
half-
ass cheeks would get cold.
They
That's not a cape. That's a capelet.
And it
A
needs to have
capelet?
pockets inside for storing things, like mini capes to tie on cats.
We had this big discussion in Citizens yesterday
Okay.
about pockets. All about pockets. Okay, anyway, sorry.
Yes.
Back on topic.
So back on topic. Star Citizen.
Wait, what are we talking
So
about?
I don't know. Well, I was moving on. So if you keep up with the production schedule, I don't know why, but the Cutlass Black was delayed apparently 3 weeks, but I guess it's because of LODs because Josh Coons is currently working on that.
Yeah.
So that's happening. Engineering, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because unless you really are hardcore into engineering, then yeah. So
I do actually want. Shiver, do you know anything about this one? Because this one confused the hell out of me yesterday.
well, okay, so
Yeah.
so diffusion.
Yeah.
Diffusion is kind of the groundwork that everything is hooked up to, and essentially what they're talking about is, so they've created a gateway service that allows external and non-diffusion services to communicate with the game as if they were internal diffusion services. So stuff that hasn't been rigged up to diffusion, they have a way to make sure that it performs as if it is a part of diffusion.
What's diffusion?
But if you, okay, well then we're just, I'm not
Diffusion
going to
is
explain
the
that.
actual process
Yes.
of allowing third-party, like, let's go with lighting, physics, something, just for example, random pick, to be integrated into, in this instance, CryEngine. They need a middleware, we'll call it, just to make it easier. There's something to say, I'm doing this, this wants to do this translates into the engine. So they can then use anything they want that isn't already naturally in the engine without having to rebuild something so it's going to work naturally in the engine,
Yeah, so basically,
as I understand it.
Basically, this is taking whatever Lumberyard has and then mixing in all of the parts that they've built. So, like
Okay.
the planetary tech, the physics, the lighting.
Which aren't technically part of Lumberyard, but they're making it so that it'll function as if it was part of Lumberyard.
Exactly.
Correct. There you go. Perfect.
Cool, we got it. All right.
Good job.
And then there's
All right.
And then there's something about ooze.
Yeah, this one also. What?
Ooze is what diffusion is created. Like diffusion, or not diffusion. Ooze is the actual scripting language. It's what they've built diffusion on. And Ooze was created by, I forget his name, but he actually is on the team and he created it himself. So
Oh, wow.
so he wrote it. Anyway, so moving on to animation. This is actually kind of exciting because I was wondering where they were with this.
Yes.
So they've finished the carry animations for, or at least the two-handed carry for like crates and and also they delayed the
You can pick people up at airports.
As long as you don't lift them more than 175 centimeters off the ground.
69
Yes.
inches.
So they delayed the animations for this about
I'm not
3
sure
weeks.
this is that kind of stream.
And they said because of gameplay reasons. And so the reason why is because they've now added 0G.
Yeah.
So now there's standing and crouching animations, but now there's also 0G where you can actually manipulate objects in space. So they have 3 crate sizes that you can actually lift, 25, 50, and 75. And you can lift them up to something, put them on a shelf that's 175 centimeters tall. So They also had Steve Bender do a lot of these. I wish I could have seen it. They showed a very brief clip, but apparently they worked him so hard they almost killed him the first day of mocap for that. So they had to have Brian Brewer do the rest of them.
Again,
And then
I just want to make a quick point there of I love that they've got the in-house mocap set up and that they're able to just do this when they need it. Because that's something that, I mean, most games have to do all of their mocap at one time and then you find something that you need down the road. And, I mean, it's probably why lots of games have, like, basically just placeholder animations of that grabs for everything, right? You don't have a carry different... It's...
Yeah. Or even don't even bother with those animations. You just like point at something and you click on it and you suddenly have it.
Yeah.
And there's no animation at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty game breaking. Like I know MMOs have to do it, and there's a reason why. But at the same time, it's still very like it gets old, and it kind of like it's one of those things that takes you out of it. Like, oh hey, I'm just reaching down, and then oh hey, I suddenly have it. It's like okay.
Or a game like Warframe where you vacuum up everything.
Yeah.
It's like
and as
at least in that way, they kind of like tie it in more. Like they make it work, whereas other games, it's like
I'd like that better.
As Hotjob SC mentions, it was Mocap Studio was a stretch goal way back.
Yeah.
But they've only recently set it up. Like
they seem to have them in multiple studios too, which is good.
They've changed their approach. They're not doing one studio, rather they're building mobile studios.
Yes.
So Austin has their own, Frankfurt has their own, and I'm pretty sure the UK has their own. So apparently in Austin, they've now got it down to an hour to set up everything and get ready to go and get that done. So that's pretty cool that they can just quickly go and then have it all done.
And
so
I'm really hoping that with these mocap studios, they also soon start doing one of the other things that they had suggested they would look into doing at some point, which was taking the studio, like the setup, along to events and allowing fans to get facial scans and be put in the game as NPCs.
That would be cool.
I think they'll definitely do that, but not for a while. I think they want to make sure they get the base stuff.
Oh yeah,
I think they want to have a way that they can take that data and actually put it into the game easily.
Yes.
And not have it take them months for each person.
And that's probably going to be the next thing we see from the character development team.
Wasn't one of the problems with that though? If you had a beard, you'd have to shave it off or something.
Yes, but I would totally shave off my beard for that.
Mm-hmm. And then Sandy actually was doing mocap as well. So apparently she was doing some of the female mocap, and then they said something about an exercise usable. I'm not sure what
is interesting in that you can use something to exercise. Is exercise required?
I really want my character I really want my merchant character to get really fat from just sitting in his chair all the time.
GTA San Andreas, anyone?
Yeah.
Or more to the point, like the guy that we saw in the freelancer commercial.
Yeah. I mean, they've talked a lot about how there are certain limits to the sizes of characters.
I want to see what their limits are.
And they've got a height limit. We know characters can only be so high because they have to fit in the ship. But man, it would be really interesting if you didn't exercise enough that you
started to
But how tedious would that get?
Wonga solo.
Well, it wouldn't be tedious if it was only appearance. If it didn't actually affect the game at all, it would be your choice.
Yeah, but
No,
surely
but
it would
if I
affect
have
your stamina
to
level.
make my character run 30 minutes every time I play just so that my character stays in shape, that gets a little tedious. That's just one extra thing that I have to make sure I maintain.
So what it sounds like is you need to be a game designer, Stormy.
What it
you have
sounds
to figure
like,
out how to make it work without it being tedious.
What it sounds like need is an
I want
exercise
space Barbie.
usable.
Come on.
It's like people who want eating and drinking and sleeping mechanics and all that stuff. It's like you definitely we want those mechanics, but people need to understand that, like, if you have to constantly maintain your character, it makes it really tedious. So, like, they're gonna have to be able to drink and stuff like that, but they're not gonna make it mandatory. And I think that's a good approach. You know, people. Well, I have to take a crap, so I need to make sure my bowels are vacated by this time. And if I
Why
eat
did
these,
out of everything, that's the way you went with that?
because you know what, probably
That's the way
Captain
some
Richards
games
is in chat, and
work.
he would have said it anyways. So I'm just,
I don't see Captain Richards, so
well, if you
He's got
ever
better
watch,
things to do, like take a crap.
if you ever watch Captain Richards, then you would know what.
I hate to say I just don't have enough time to watch anything. So
Like Flint Dragon mentions, the exercise aspect is specifically so that you can keep up your stamina, as he understands it anyway. Which,
So I would like to remind people though that they especially Hot Job SC, they have talked about there will be some survival mechanics for being stranded on planets, so they're not going to be entirely missing from the game.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I like
something
so
like
many
that
derps in
makes
chat.
sense if you're stranded on a planet. Then okay, yeah, then it makes sense. But I don't want to have to be in the middle of a combat fight and think, oh, I've only just logged in and my character needs to have a shower, otherwise I'm screwed for the rest of the day, or some
I think-
stupid thing
I
like
think
that,
what
which
we
can
had talked
happen.
about a few weeks
The
ago.
Sims.
One of the things
The
I
Sims.
like
talked about.
Sims
Dark
4,
City.
where you walk
Yeah.
around with a
Yeah.
cloud around you.
Like you just stick them in the swimming pool and they're like, I don't know how to get out.
Didn't
What do I do?
MGS5
I'll
do
just
that?
die.
No, you're the person who took the ladder, didn't you? You took the ladder away,
Oh, yeah.
so they're stuck in there forever.
Why give them a ladder? Just give them a diving board.
One of the things
all you
we
need.
discussed a few weeks ago about what it might mean is, like, if you're on your ship and you have food supplies on your ship, it'll just use automatically. You won't have to go and do it manually. You'll just be fed and it'll slowly run down. But if you're on a planet and you don't have that, food source existing with you, then you might have to, seek out food.
yes,
So I'm just gonna make sure I put
That's
chocolate
what-
bars in all my pockets,
there you go.
everywhere.
Origin 600i, decadent slave girls that will feed you grapes confirmed.
Yes. Yes.
So
it is
that
confirmed.
means when I visit your harem ship, Shiver, you're gonna have women everywhere.
Orion slave girls, you gotta remember.
Well, it's like they displayed with the caterpillar
I'll have
on
a deck for
on
the
the
women
video.
and a deck for the ladies and a deck if you're not fussy.
Okay,
I'm
what's the difference
open-minded, whoever
between
wants to
women
come
and
along.
ladies? I'd really like to hear this, but then again, I almost am afraid to ask.
Yeah. Anyways,
It's not that kind of
moving,
podcast.
moving on.
Yeah.
I'll go through the rest pretty quickly. Obviously we know they're doing the cockpit experience. That's something that is probably going to go I don't know if it's going to be something where it's for 3.0 or they're going to keep working on beyond 3.0. I'll take something from Happy Hour to add into this. With item system 2.0, they have to change all the ships for 3.0. No ship is not going to not have it. They can't have old tech and new tech running at the same time. So every ship that's coming with 3.0 or that will be in 3.0 is going to have the new, MFDs and stuff like that. So that's awesome. Whether or not this cockpit experience is going to be, if that's part of it, I don't know.
I
So
imagine it is, because I think one of the things that they're working on for the cockpit experience is the ability to go in and select this switch and that switch and this, which we didn't really have before, right? And that's part of the item system 2.0 thing, is every single switch on your bloody cockpit is interactable, which gives so much promise for VR. Oh man,
Oh, you bastard!
is that what you were gonna say, Shiver?
Yeah, more.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, after playing Star Trek Bridge Crew VR, I really want to sit in a Star Citizen ship and just flick.
yeah,
Do you know what?
Like,
Do you know
It
what
look-
would make Star Trek Bridge Crew complete? Voice attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I've been watching the Star Trek on some Twitch streamer, and it looks like so much. It's very basic, but oh man, does it ever look like it's fun?
It's a
Especially you could see people. That's the awesome
you can
part.
see people, and talk in time, like their mouths move in time with the person.
And you
that's
can point
talking.
and see people point the fingers. They're like, "What? Did we go there? Did we go there?"
Yeah. No,
No,
it
like
was,
this
it was
might be a
amazing.
crazy idea, but now some of you might remember adventure games, the old point and click, like Monkey Island and things.
Yeah.
If that could be reworked so you could do that in VR, if you could have a virtual adventure game, put that there was a Star Trek adventure game, basically cross those two, so you would have that could work quite well, I think. Make that happen, someone. I want my old adventure games back in VR.
I
And a
second
VR
that.
helmet.
And Brew Magoo actually mentions it, but Bridge Crew is working with IBM's Watson to add voice commands to it as well. I honestly, if you've never watched the game, go watch someone play it. Try and find someone who's playing it with other people. It really needs to be played with other people, but it to me gives an incredible amount of promise to VR, and two, an incredible amount of promise to the multi-crew experience that we'll be able to get in Star Citizen, because it's really basic, it's really simple, and it is still some of the it is not some of the, it is the most fun I have had in multiplayer VR, period.
Can I say one thing about that though, David? Is I was watching you guys play, and I'm sorry, but the head movements were so much, it was actually making me ill. I was talking to CS about this. I was just like, I actually had to go to a different screen and just listen to you guys, because
And that's something
I don't know.
Yeah, that's something I have to work on, because like if I'm doing VR, I'm gonna want to be the captain and stream it so that I can look slowly, because naturally, like we look around all the time naturally, right? And
Well, and our heads naturally move fast, but in
Yes.
VR, it's like when you're looking from someone else's point of view, it's very disorientating when your head's whipping side to side.
It's disorientating for you guys because you don't see it from my perspective, but for me, it's like this is amazing. I just want to look at all the things, right? So it's hard to stream VR, is what it is.
I think the biggest disconnect there, and the reason it makes you kind of uneasy, is because your view is changing really fast, but from the perspective of the viewer, your head's not moving.
Yeah.
So your brain's going, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why is this happening?
Brain's like,
You've
"Stop
got
it."
that first person perspective, and it confuses you because it is first person. You might want to turn to the right, but whoever you're watching, they're turned to the left. So you get like, that can really confuse you and put you off.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm really, really hoping is that CIG are looking at this exactly, at Star Trek Bridge Crew, and there's been a discussion basically the entire time that Star Citizen has been around about controller parity, and quite simply, using a keyboard and a mouse, you're going to be better than with a joystick, but you're still able to use a joystick, you're still able to use basically whatever controller you want, right? I really, really hope that they support VR for cockpit experiences, because it's not really usable in first person. The movement just feels sickening because you're not moving without a teleport or something. But in the cockpit, when you're sitting down at a ship, if you could be in VR while you're sitting in a ship, I honestly don't think there would be a more breathtaking experience, period. So I really, really hope that CRG are looking at, and I know that Disco Lando's actually been playing Star Trek Bridge Crew, so I know that at least some of them are looking at it, and I really hope that they're looking at how they can use what they're doing in VR, because
I'm sure that they are. Like they definitely said they are going to do VR for Star Citizen, and then definitely they'll take any inspiration they can get when it comes to how to do it right. So.
And I think that's the way to do it. Make it be in the ship.
I do think VR is probably going to be tackled closer to release, though, because I think what they found was that they could get it working, and then everything would break it. Like, anytime they changed anything, it broke it. So I think that they're going to try and mostly finish the game first, and then do VR.
As long as they're thinking about it, and honestly, Item System 2.0 and the way everything is toggleable in Items 2.0 it's made for VR. Like, it's honestly made for it, right? Anyway.
Well, and that's understandable, but you also have to understand that people who can't afford
Yes.
VR, right? The majority of the people will want to play it on their PC,
Yeah,
right?
well, that-
So
I mean,
of
I would-
course that's going to be first and foremost what they want to release before they even tackle
yeah.
VR.
And VR should never be mandatory. It should be an add-on, right? If you're one of those stupid people like me that spends $5,000 on ships, you know,
Did you just say that with Cass right next to you?
she knows.
Hey, how did I know she knows? But I knew she knew.
She knows everything.
But wait, if they started with VR from the beginning, then they could have had it the entire time, right? Right?
No.
Nope.
I honestly like because you obviously explained it. Like, there's a reason why the VR isn't implemented is because it keeps breaking like
Yeah.
every other
It-
release because of
everything
just how
they-
the.
Everything they do would break it, and then they would have to try and figure out why whatever they were doing was breaking VR, and that's just wasting dev time.
It's actually, if you look at it, people were arguing for a long time for more options, like anti-aliasing and all kind of options, which we didn't have, right? Like there were when the first module was launched, like there were no bloody options, and part of the reason is normally those additional graphics options and such, they're added at the very end of game dev because you don't want them to break when you change something in the engine.
I still want aliasing, but anti-aliasing, but
Yeah.
that's simply because I'm a poor schmuck with a 1080p monitor, so I have aliasing out the freaking yin yang in that game.
But you don't want it
But-
added until it's not going to break everything, right?
So what I've decided in my infinite wisdom is that my new PC is going to be a 4K monitor, and then I won't have any aliasing anymore.
Solves that problem.
Solve that problem.
I mean, you could just do downsampling, but the disadvantage, I mean, you'd get a wonderful, beautiful, perfect frame in Arena Commander, and then half an hour later, you'd get the second one, and it would be perfect.
Okay, CS, move us forward, please.
This one was interesting because I really wasn't. They didn't go into too much of detail. So they said they're working on the ability to make comm calls within a ship. So whether or not this is like a PA system or a VoIP, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's not VoIP because they're tying that with Spectrum. So I imagine they're going to use that with the ships. But if you could make like, this is the captain speaking. We're currently experiencing some turbulence with the Vandal invaders currently attacking us. Please buckle your seats and enjoy the ride. You know, something like that. I think that'd be pretty cool. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but it's cool
I was
nonetheless.
talking about this on with Shiver on the Friday night show last night over on the base.sc, which is a hell of a good time. I sang the entire time. Wasn't that fun, Shiver?
It was something beginning with F.
But one of the things that remember, like we've seen it a few times now, the small vid screen on the cockpit of the ship being shown. When you're like in the Miles Eckhart demo, seeing him pop up on the small.
Yep.
I was thinking that one thing that comms could refer to, and one thing that they should do regardless, is let's say you're contacting another player who's in their ship, get video of their character.
And that's what render to texture can do for you.
Yeah, but get video of their character and get something simple like the lip sync from Star Trek Bridge Crew, so that as they're talking to you, that it looks like their character is talking as well. And they did mention that probably about 4 years ago that they were looking into that text. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
And the rest of it's pretty much stuff that we know. They're obviously QA's testing, a bunch of stuff with 3.0. They did show the bearing P8SC SMG, and I think I saw the railgun in action. I think I saw the railgun. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw the railgun. So that looks really cool if that's the case. And then they're also for Evocati. We've heard this a couple weeks before, but they're adding new Evocati to the ranks, and they're hiring more QA across all the studios.
That
except
is something to make note of. If you have skills in anything video game or QA related, check the Cloud Imperium Games site. They are basically always hiring, always. So go work for them, because whether or not, like, that is one of the places where if you want to continue in the industry, work for them, because even if you don't stay for them long, it'll look damn good on a resume. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll look good.
Yeah.
Turbulent.
So that's that. Turbulent. So I don't know if this, I haven't checked yet, but so apparently 0.3.5 should be released for Spectrum. I'm not sure if it is or not. If it isn't, they said it will come out soon. What they've done is now I think it was 0.33. They made it so you could create a thread via chronological as normal, or you could do it via nested, kind of like Reddit style. Now they've made it so you can view any thread any way you want.
CS, I'm gonna let you finish, but none of this matters till mobile first.
I know. But you know what? Mobile can use search now.
Hey.
So that's awesome. But the thing, honestly, coming out of that, I mean, as much as Spectrum, a lot of this is just kind of quality of life stuff for 3.6 and stuff. But I want to get into what's actually really exciting. So they are doing a complete, not necessarily entire site-wide, but a very big revamp of this RSI site to make it so it's a lot more newcomer friendly, as well as for existing players to actually find information. This also includes a new module for the site that will basically be a tutorial in a sense of how to get players into the game, how to get them started, figured out, the basics to get them going. So it's not going to be an in-game tutorial as far as I'm aware, but it's a tutorial nonetheless of just kind of getting players set up, what's actually there, what can they actually do, and how to do it and stuff like that. Because right now it's a bit of a pain in the ass for
and
new
all that
players.
is really important for them to.
So this is really exciting.
Yep.
That they're doing that. The other thing, and they showed this actually on Happy Hour. Yes, it was Happy Hour. But I'm going to say here now, they showed a preview, or at least a snippet of the ship stats page update.
Right.
It looks fantastic. I have an image. It's in my other post, but I'll find it. Essentially, they've consolidated everything into an easy-to-see view of all the different things you could add onto a ship. They're going to make sure that this is actually updated frequently because it's designed to be modular, so that if there's a change to the ship, they can go and instantly change whatever it is and give you a better representation of actually what the ship's capable of. The point of the ship stats page isn't exactly what the ship can do, but give you an idea of what's possible with it.
Yeah.
So
And that's
the
good.
whole point. That's the whole point of it. And so that's pretty much what was shown for Turbulent. And then the last segment, item system 2.0. Pretty much you can combine the Happy Hour with this, and basically item system 2.0, if you're not aware of what it does, basically what CryEngine did is it had these logic blocks, and essentially they were great for what they did. But if you want to do something different, well, you can't. You get into a vehicle, it turns on. You get out of the vehicle, it turns off. There's no in between, So you now can get in the vehicle, you can just sit there, and then you can actually go in and turn on what you want to turn on. You could turn on the whole ship, you could just turn on the radar, you could turn on just the power plant, whatever you wanted. And so essentially it takes that 1-0, kind of makes it quantum, where you can go in between 1 and 0 if you had to go like that. But it's basically required for the game to continue moving forward, to do all the things that we want it to do. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So it's a really big change that I'm looking forward to. And that's pretty much. If you go ahead,
Let's go around and I want to ask everyone what their thoughts are on 2.0. So CS, we're going to start with you. Item system 2.0.
Like, what were my thoughts as far as
how important it is, and how good is it to see that it's finally coming on?
It's important because if you want even the basic features, like, for example, people have been clamoring about, why can't I keep my ship in my possession? Why can't I lock the door on it? It's because there is currently no way to do it. There's no way you can just go, okay, lock door. That function does not exist within the engine. It's not a, oh, this, and there you go. Obviously, in certain games, you can have a way to do that, but in the way that you'd want it to work in Star Citizen, it's not possible. So
Right.
essentially, this tech allows the capability for technology to be built on that. So locking ships won't be in 3.0. They've stated this. But they're building a security system that encompasses not only doors, but obviously everything else as well. So it's not going to be just for doors. So they're able to make it so you can have certain people only access the door, or maybe access the door for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Vehicles, weapons, whatever, turrets. This is also a very nice thing. Item System 2.0 also removes the bug where you can get inside of a ship from a turret. If you did not know, that is a capable thing. If you get the right angle, you can enter any ship through the turret. So
It's a bit weird. Yeah.
it's a bit weird. It's an interesting way to hijack a ship if you really wanted to. It's crucial if you want Star Citizen to be what you want it to be, because to go in and play around with your cockpit, that can't happen without 2.0. There's nothing else to say except it needs it to be Star Citizen. So.
Now, Stormy, moving at this kind of from a more fiction oriented viewpoint, because I'm going to change the question for everyone because I'm mad. If you look
seem angry.
What are you mad about, David?
life in general, and the breakdown of
The world.
yeah, basically the breakdown of the world, and
Anyway,
moving on. Stormy, one of the things that we're able to do with fiction is go into a lot more detail about what's happening in a ship. You look at Nehkara's story there with the person who jumps through the hole and gets stuck there, and it's all about, and you can talk about the ship, and you can talk about the different, like, the things that you're able to do. Do you think that Item System 2.0 might help people be able to experience that a bit more in game as well, than rather just get into a ship and it's on? Like, will this help the granularity of the experience?
Well, of course, because before you just had to explain things in general terms, being like, well, we kind of did this in hopes that you were very close to the mark that this is how things are going to work.
Right.
Everything had a lot of speculation to it in terms of if this was a factual way of how these mechanics are going to work or not.
Yeah.
So this will give it a little bit more, I guess, give you a chance to at least know how things are going to work.
Yep. Shiver, technology-wise, what does this mean?
It's, if you look at it outside of the cockpit, you could start to see multi-crew coming online with this. You should be able to have engineers or anyone else run around your ship, see things that they can interact with that the pilot can't or doesn't have time for. So this is going to expand the usability of a ship. It's actually going to make a ship a bit more unique and have you as crew feeling like something more than just a gunner.
Nehkara, final thoughts on 2.0?
In a broader context, it componentizes the entire game. So Item System 2.0 kind of covers everything, more or less, breaking it down into components. So a ship is a collection of components, and a character is a collection of components. But that is what allows you to have, like, hey, I have a 300i and it has this engine. And if you open up the engine, it's made up of all these parts. And this one blew out, and I got to rip it out and replace it with this part, and it'll, run again. Or this one will make it better. Or so it really gives you that huge depth. But then even for characters, like, that's what allows you to have, like, the freaking, like, grenades hanging off your chest, and they're actually there. And when your character goes to use a grenade, they actually grab it off their chest and
Throw it, yeah.
throw it. So no, it's huge for the game. It's sort of the underpinnings for everything, and it even comes right down to cargo. Like the fact that when inside a cargo container is actual things.
Yeah.
That's also down to the same deal.
I've been waiting for this basically since
2012.
well, honestly, since when they started talking about the Reclaimer and how the Reclaimer could take ships apart piece by piece, and that's what this is. This item 2.0 is that, like, you look at the way the game has been so far, and it's like you've got your Hornet, and it's got 2 weapons. Great. Well, no, your Hornet's got 90 weapons, but whatever. Details. You've got a ship, and it's got the weapons on it, and maybe the engine. That's great, but with 2.0, you've got your ship, and the armor plating, and the engines have all these little parts in the engines, and then the weapons are attached, but there's all these things in the weapons, and then you've got, like there's so much more depth to the game with Item 2.0, and being able to do stuff to all of that, I think it's great.
It also is what enables most of the professions.
Yeah.
Especially things like tuning. Like, it doesn't even exist without it.
No dude about it.
I wanted to make mention of
talking
one
about
thing
anything else?
that I actually read in my part that I was transcribing that was really interesting to me, and I don't know if I understood this correctly, but I think it was Kirk Tomei who was talking about it, and I did not understand or did not know that they had to pretty much revamp each ship from step 1 for this Item 2.0 system.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they...
Go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say, can you imagine the amount of work that went into that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of why we've had this weird thing for a while where, like, you have some really old ships in Star Citizen. It makes weird to sound, or weird to say because the game isn't even out yet. But there's some really old ships in Star Citizen that are using really old tech. Like, some of them, until recently, didn't even have the damage tech, which, has been around for years. And that's part of that's exactly it, Stormy. You have to... At some point, they basically have to go back to each of these things they made before and rip them apart and put them back together again, which is a lot of work.
I mean, it's good practice as well because it the more they do something, the quicker it gets. So, future moving forwards. And if it's something that's already in game, it's not as much work as having to put something through the entire pipeline again. It's not like it's got to go through the concept phase.
But everything's supposed to take no amount of time, right? Because that's game development in a nutshell. There's no iteration or anything like that. It's done right then and there perfectly the first time, right?
Well, that's what they did. Like 2 weeks into development, they just put flight sim equals 1 on CryEngine, saved it as a notepad. And done.
And it just didn't work. Yeah, it was great.
Right?
If the game hasn't launched within a year of its announcement, then it's a scam.
Oh, of course.
Exactly.
Sorry, someone said something about how to handlebar mustache, and I have to... Just give me 2 seconds here.
Oh my god, that's David with the handlebar mustache.
I'm sorry, I have to do this.
Wait, how's it going to work with 2 people in the camera, though?
Image.
It's going to mess up. I just know it.
You seriously look like one of the Musketeers.
Is this one? Yeah, there we go.
I mean, there's this fine line between Musketeer and Satan, and...
There's me with a handlebar mustache.
Amazing.
Oh, it's an actual picture. I thought you'd do a live mustache on.
No.
Oh my god.
No, it's an actual picture of wow. This is our transition into the question period. That is 100% real. I have more picture evidence of that as well. I did that for years, and that's honestly not when it was looking greatest. Yeah.
And how old were you? 12?
No, that was that was about 7 to 10 years ago. Yeah.
So you were an adult.
I was an adult. I was like 25.
Did you have people did you have men coming up to you in one-piece bathing costumes going, "Ha, I see you. Ha, let's fight." Ha, ha, ha.
No, but I did get accosted several times by bridal parties who needed to find people with mustaches. Yeah.
What?
For what purpose?
I don't know. For scavenger hunts where the bride had to find and take pictures with all these types of things, and one of
Who
them was...
does that at a
I
wedding?
don't know.
People, apparently.
Just saying.
This is just what he was told at the time. Do bear that in mind. It could well be that the Canadian Mounted Police Force just needed to update their records on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
Very
it disappeared. Then it disappeared. It's been gone for a long time now. Anyway.
Did you ever have cyclists get on your back and try and... No, never mind.
Oh boy. One thing I will say before we do questions
Yeah.
is when it comes to item 2.0 and multi-crew ships, hot swapping is not going to be a thing for the first release.
Yeah.
Because some people were like questioning whether or not you could swap out modules in space. It's not happening. In your hangars, yes. In space, no. That's not in
that'll
there.
come eventually, but it's going to take some time.
Basically what they're doing is laying the foundation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And there's no restrictions on what you can put where. So technically, there will be combinations that will be overpowered, but they will adjust those. They just want to make sure the system works. So.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
So David, can I ask the first question?
Yeah, do it.
All right, this one's for you, Stormy.
Oh boy.
American Barbecue Sauce asks.
Yes, American barbecue sauce is asking, what is written on Stormy's Covfefe mug?
Oh,
Is it Covfefe or Kafifi?
I think it's Covfefe.
Covfefe.
okay.
Yeah.
Next year,
To all
most popular
Americans,
girl's
I'm
name.
sorry for all of you.
So, what's written on your mug?
So I'll premise with this is this was a gift from Canadian Syrup because he knows me too well.
I drink coffee for your safety. That's good. That's good. Okay, so Brivals asks, with item 2.0 release in 3.0, do you think the non-updated ships will be super janky, flight interaction, etc.? They won't, because everything's going to be updated.
All of the current ships in the game will be 2.0 by then.
Yep. Moving on, and also, before I move on, throw us some questions, because at this rate we're going to go through them in approximately 12 seconds, so give us your questions. Or you're going to have to sit through an afternoon of me singing or showing you mustache pictures.
Or that, yeah.
Well, don't tell them that because now you just played your hand. See, now they're going to want to see the mustache pictures constantly.
Okay, so Calm Summers asks, list all the crazy things you want to try first in 3.0. Canyon Run, airdrop a rover out of a Connie, EVA planetary re-entry. Let's go around a circle. We'll start with Shiver Bathory.
I want to join the 3 Million Mile High Club.
I didn't know that mechanic was in the game, but apparently it is now.
Better be.
That's awesome.
Hey, we're going for
It is
fidelity.
now.
That's where the 4K genitals come in, right?
Damn straight. Stormy?
Can I throw Canadian Syrup out an airlock?
Yes, you can. All right, so that's what she's.
hell?
That's
What
she's
would you
doing
put on
in
your
the-
waffles?
You'll have a suit on, don't worry.
CS, any response to that?
Well, I want to do re-entry to atmosphere, but I'll throw her out as soon as we hit atmosphere, if that'll be it.
Okay, I wasn't going to burn you up. I just wanted to test out the physics, okay?
Yeah. Well, we'll test out the physics, all right.
I do have a.
Te-
I do have a.
I was
observation
kind of
here.
doing the same.
Yes, you were. You were testing out the stamina system.
Oh my
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
So I do need to point out that this person's name is the exact opposite of Stormy Winters
Yeah.
because it's Calm
is.
Summers. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Anyway, now what do I want to try in 3.0? Basically, I'm going to be really, really boring here because they're like throwing people out of airlocks and humping in space. But but I just want to explore like all the outposts on the surface and like find things. I'm an explorer. I want to find things. That's me.
I want to get in a ship, fly to the night side of a planet, and transition from space to ground with the sun rising as I land.
Which you can do.
I know, and that's what I want to do. I think that would be absolutely beautiful, and I think it would.
And you need to record it so we
And
can put
exactly.
it up. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to
What
a wrap.
Saldos just said is inaccurate on several different levels. Multi-CPU does not go across cores, it goes across CPU, thus the name multi-CPU, otherwise it would be called multi-core. It does not help our performance with the more cores we have, it helps the more CPUs they have with their server backend, not us. We are not the engine that is in that
Yeah.
we get in 3.0 is still not at the stage where it's going to have a full advantage over more than the average 4 to 6 cores, I think, that CryEngine uses by default.
Working on it, not there yet.
Sure, throwing out the knowledge bombs. Brivals asks, how far do you think Item System 2.0 will reach for the 3.0 release?
All of it, because it has to.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's one of those things where you can't have both.
Yeah.
You either have item 2.0 or you don't, which is why it's such a big task to get it in there in the first place. So
It's
everything
not-
has to work.
It's not like it was with the damage tech where you could fudge numbers and make it so that some of the old ships worked with the new, right? Like you'd have both of them. That's gone. It has to be in. They can't.
So basically, the fundamentals of the system are in, but not the detailed features of it. So
Yeah.
think of it as a foundation for a house. We got the foundation. We got like 2.5 walls up, no roof. There's no floors. We're working.
But there's a door. There's a door
There's a door
still.
Item System
Door
2.0 refers to the tech, not specific items. Items
Yeah.
are coming in
Yeah.
to use on that tech,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Brivals now asks, do you think CIG scrapped Kythera, or do you think it morphed into Subsumption?
I think they scrapped Kythera. It was just a placeholder until they can
They-
get Subsumption working.
Where did they talk about? Oh no, Brian Chambers. He talked about this in the last ATV. Kythera was merely a stepping stone, if I recall. It wasn't meant to be the end result. It was something to get them where they need to be, and then from there, they became Subsumption. So it was never scrapped, but it never was planned to be the end all. Like not the end all, but the end result. So
It gave them a usable AI system for a while they developed their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brivals asks, what do you think the router mesh is, and do you think it's the beginning of the server mesh tech?
Yes. I mean, the only thing I can think that a router mesh is a mesh of routers.
Which would be the mesh of servers.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think probably yes is the answer to that.
Could it be?
Hey, Storm's
It's
back.
referring to the traffic that we produce, that rather than how to explain how our traffic goes through their network rather than how their traffic gets to us.
how about I read from the
Client to
transcript?
server rather than server
Do
to
it.
client.
Yes,
Yeah.
read from the
I'll be reading from the
Go, Canadian
transcripts.
syrup.
Says, finally, there's been work on the router mesh functionality. The router mesh distributes services over multiple router endpoints and provides redundant communication paths between other services. The mesh will use a technique to isolate high bandwidth services away from lower bandwidth or more critical services. The primary responsibility of the router mesh is to provide high-level service availability and performance.
Okay.
It prioritizes traffic based on
Between the
whatever it
servers.
needs at the time.
Between servers.
Yeah.
That makes
essentially.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does the job the router does.
There you go.
We have a friend.
We have a visitor.
Yep.
Hello. Oh, okay. Hello.
Oh, I got this one.
Okay, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you hope to be able to do on foot with items 2.0?
Ooh.
Starve.
Starve?
Use the toilet. Or the
Um,
shower.
I think it's more being able to see how many objects I can pick up and what objects I can pick up.
Like a human game of Jenga?
Yeah, just see what I'm capable of picking up and just stuffing as much as I can into just random cargo, and then just spill it all out over the place.
I think walking across a planet with like holding one of those boxes. Just like
So you want to
all the
be
way
a
around.
hoarder.
No, I don't want to be a hoarder. I just want to collect stuff and see what I can collect.
Would you like to say hi?
Obviously, dead bodies to throw out the airlock as you're going through atmosphere.
Yes.
I'd like to
Yes.
take own menus idea one step further and see what effect different things have whilst being flushed down the toilet. You know, grenades, just
You know that
rifles,
would put a big hole in
ships.
your ship, right?
I never said it would be my ship.
No. That'd be a practical joke you play on Captain Richard. You just put a grenade at the bottom of the toilet and hope he doesn't notice. And so when he flushes, it pulls the pin, and then
No, or you just pull the pin and you tape the spoon to the grenade.
So Project Sinus asks a question that I've got for Nehkara as well. How was the Aegis Eclipse sale, and what was different from the other sales?
I should probably go look, eh?
Yeah.
The sale went really well, but I don't know the exact numbers because I haven't checked them recently. Last time I checked, it had made somewhere around like 1.5 million, I think, but that was a while ago. It was quite a bit different in how it was structured. It started a day early for subscribers and concierge, and
What is going on, Nick?
and the other thing was that this one was actually like
Oh, thank you, Nick.
15 days. The sale was instead of the normal 10 days, and so that was kind of interesting. And Fastcard is thank you, Fastcard. I'm not in a great position to check right now, so Fastcard said in most recent check it was 1.8 million. So, and it should be over now. So.
yeah. So it did very well then, basically, is what you're saying.
Very well. So that basically
very well.
puts it like second or third on all of the concept sales.
Oh, that's good. That's good. It was definitely. How much was it again?
$275, something like that. $275, I think. US.
75, yeah.
And a 250 war bond, I think. I'm sure someone will correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Excellent. Doom brought up something. Actually, I forgot to talk about it. He asked. Well, he said like
Sorry
stamina
about that.
system last week. I asked if more O2 meant faster stamina recharge, but now we're carrying a big, heavy box mean faster stamina drain. I bet yes. So I don't. Was it this ATV or the previous? I think it probably was the previous one. So the stamina system is procedural. So this means that it's more than just an oxygen bar going up and down. It depends on your environment. So actually, you could be on planets that you could run farther, longer, because of how much O2 is in the atmosphere. Or it could affect you the other way, where you can't run as far. So more than likely, if you have a heavier box, it's going to cause you to basically get tired a lot quicker. They also said it's going to be more than just oxygen. They are taking other gases into effect. So you, for example, could pass out from the amount of, carbon monoxide. So there's a lot of cool elements to that. It's a lot more than just run.
And it brings
Recharge.
it-
When it comes to
Go ahead,
when it
Shane.
comes to carrying, you've got to take into account G-forces on the planet as well.
I like that all this kind of like the G-forces and the atmosphere and the the different gases on a planet and stuff. I mean, if you look back like 4 years ago now, just about, they talked about different space suits that were for like more radioactive proof space suits. Like it almost feels like even 4 years ago they weren't sure if they could do all this, but they wanted to do it all. And it's really great watching them get it all in there. Frankly. So Mac Vault Dweller asks, when creating a character, will you make it look like you?
I don't think you could make something look as glorious as Erris, though.
It's true. I'm pretty
I have
sad.
an odd question though about the stamina thing. So
Yeah.
does that mean if they actually go with big characters, if your character's big and out of shape, does that mean you have less stamina?
Yes, it would. Yeah. Other games have done that actually.
I don't know if they said they would have it though, where there's a disparity though on your physique though, and you can't change your physique if I'm correct at first, right?
Well, we don't know yet. We also weren't supposed to have planets, or explorable planets. So I don't know.
I know you could. I don't think you can change your height though and stuff like
You
that.
can't change your height. There is going to be some ability to change weight, but they're
So
not
men
promising
and
anything.
women are going to be the same height?
No.
No, women
They're
and men are
making-
slightly different.
They're making two heights basically for the time being, with the hope that they can change it a bit later. But women are, I don't know, a couple inches shorter than men.
So that means I could possibly be actually 5'8" or 5'10" for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you could. What were we talking about?
The next
All right.
question, David never did ask.
Yeah. When we're creating a character, will you make
Oh,
it
yeah.
look like yourself? Shiver?
Yes, it adds an element of horror to other people's games.
Stormy?
Maybe, but probably not.
CS?
No, I'm never the type that makes it look like I'm me. I did it for Fallout 4, and I'm like, it's good enough, and that's as far as I did. But no, I usually like to make it something different than me, something I can't be. You know, like obviously I'm short, so something tall. You know, so yeah.
Mr. Nehkara?
What are you smiling over there, Stormy? You're like,
I can't
Wow.
say it. No.
Wow. All right. So, moving right along. I usually don't make my characters look like me, so probably not. Actually, in a couple games, I've actually played female characters, and I know it's something David does a lot of, and I might have a female character in Star Citizen. I'm still thinking about it. We'll see.
I almost always play female characters in basically every single game ever. I think for Star Citizen, I'm going to probably have to create two. I'm going to have to create one that looks as close to me as I can do it because of this and because of you guys and because I'm probably going to be reporting on news from in-game and it's got to look like me and all these stupid bloody reasons. And then I'm going to have Garbage Woman. So, yeah.
Oh, good. The
Yeah.
reclaimer wielding serial killer.
Well, I've got a Reclaimer.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Got to use it for something.
Serial killing, apparently.
So, Jelcy asks, your opinion how much RSI has contributed to Lumberyard? I feel they pretty much built it, but not sure what Amazon has done. Do you think Amazon was a heavy contributor to Star Citizen?
Can I take this one?
Yes, you can.
I think the person is misunderstanding a little bit what CIG's contribution to Lumberyard was. Basically zero. Because what we were going back to when we were talking about diffusion. The way diffusion works is they basically take Lumberyard and then they take all of the work they've done and they plug it into the Lumberyard engine, because a lot of the work they've done is separate from the engine itself. There are some things that that they have taken from Lumberyard, like the volumetric lighting of fog, which is hugely helpful. But I don't know how much they've added back into, like, added on their side for Lumberyard. Although I think a lot of it will help in the long term. However, in terms of, can I see the full question again?
There.
In terms of what Amazon did a lot of work on making Lumberyard, or what was CryEngine, into an MMO type engine, a multiplayer engine, an engine that works better on their AWS services, because CryEngine's multiplayer was terrible. So yeah, that was a lot of the work was on the network side. I don't think they did a lot of other work with the engine, but that was their sort of specialty.
Yes, I hope that answers that question. I don't have anything to add to it, unfortunately.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
That's
It's not
what happens.
my
That's what happens when Nehkara takes the stage. So Fastcart asks, who was Erris's favorite singer last night? Actually, I was really, really impressed with Nitro. Some of his lines were glorious. He had some really good ones, gotta say. But
Did you know Fast Cut's got a rap single coming out soon?
really, I
Mhm.
need to hear that.
You actually really do.
I do. I will also say, though, that I was impressed with everyone except Shiver, because Shiver's the only one that didn't contribute or participate.
I kept my dignity.
So does this mean Shiver's going to sing now?
Yeah. Go ahead, Shiver. Serenade us.
I could go and get one of my guitars and plug that in, but that would be almost as bad.
Just put auto tune on. That's what everyone else does nowadays.
So Fastcart asks, with Nehkara visiting Erris, when and where will the next relay meetup be?
You mean the one this week or the next one after this?
Well, this week, I'm hoping to have something slightly different for the podcast next week. No guarantees. I'm working on it. It depends on people we can get. I'm hoping to. But the next actual meetup of, like, all of us in person, I don't know. I don't know how many of us are going to make it to Frankfurt.
Yep.
That's hard.
That's a moving target.
Yeah, it's a moving target. It's hard to get the money together to fly to Europe.
Especially to fly a whole bunch of people to Europe.
Yeah, but
Just take the train. Oh, you don't have one of those. Sorry.
No, the whole underwater train thing isn't really come along yet.
no, maybe
If we built a
Musk,
If we built a catapult, would that work?
a
Yes.
really big one,
It's got to be big, yeah. It
Yeah.
needs to be like
and
a
a
railgun.
really big cushion on the other end.
Yeah.
Technically, there's a guy who fell from I don't know how many. Well, no, he purposely did this as stunt, where he fell from was it like 10,000 feet onto the biggest like inflated cushion you could think of. Or no, it was a net. It was a net with a cushion at the bottom.
Did she
Literally
say
fell, no
anything when he
parachute.
landed on her?
Oh.
Okay, so Carbide.
Your mother didn't have much else to say.
That's pretty close to my mother's name, actually.
So
Very
when
well.
is the next SitCon is back in LA next year then, or what?
Yes.
Hopefully.
We don't really know. They usually don't announce until CitizenCon.
Yeah.
But
What
I
convention?
guess theorizing.
Yeah, theorizing it would definitely be back in North America. I'm thinking.
Yeah, so
And they
probably then.
actually, I don't know if this has been officially announced or if I'm just theorizing, but I think they actually might do
Something in Canada.
something in North America for this CitizenCon
Oh yeah,
for people in North America to go to.
yeah.
Because very few people here can actually afford to go to Frankfurt.
It's
So
Yeah, because
it's
I won't
pricey.
be going to Frankfurt this year.
And they are
I
doing,
just
and they
don't
have
money.
Gamescom every year, so it's
Yeah.
kind of the thing where like CitizenCon, it can only really happen one place, but like Gamescom, they're always there. So
Yeah, they're always there anyway, and they do Gamescom every year. So it's honestly kind of unfortunate that they're doing it in Frankfurt this year. I mean, I understand why the Frankfurt team is amazing, and it's great to focus on them, but it is hard for a lot of us to get over there. But yeah,
I'll tell you what it's like. Don't worry.
yeah,
we
yeah.
we should just do a
we at
meetup
least-
that has nothing to do with SitCon.
We should. Everyone should
Yep.
just come here and. Stay
Oh,
here.
why there? There's more of us on the other coast.
No, there's more of us here.
It's pretty much even.
it's pretty much even. You know what though? I think though, with
We
the
should
event of
we should meet in Winnipeg for
No.
no reason.
No.
Ew.
No.
no. You
No
want to
one
go to
wants to go to
murder
Winnipeg.
capital of Canada? You want to go to murder capital of Canada? Mm-mm.
You want to
No,
go to the
Tommy.
capital?
The
of
murder
Canada.
capital
The
of
capital
Canada.
of Canada.
It's
Two
literally-
murders in 20 years.
It's
Hey,
literally
remember,
the murder.
It is Canada's 150th anniversary this year. Lots of stuff's going to be happening here in Ottawa.
Or you could just
Your
come out
country's only
here.
150.
See, I don't know if I want to go to Ottawa.
Actually, I think I have you beat here though. You were supposed to come visit me, so you and Vince. So I think now we'll be 2 visits.
Someday.
So
Carbide
See, I had a
Edge-
hard enough time in Los Angeles. You can ask CS this. I just did not like it. So big cities.
Hey, I
no.
didn't like LA either. Ottawa is not a big city.
no, it's
Like,
actually
Ottawa.
Ottawa's smaller than Calgary.
Yeah, come on. Ottawa is a better city than Calgary.
Oh yeah, totally. I
Better,
like
not better.
what
100%.
Just smaller.
Carbide
You
Edge said.
hated
Let's
Ottawa.
go to
You said
Saskatchewan.
Ottawa's like full of politicians, and you hate it.
I mean, yeah.
Saskatchewan
At
is
least
where
it's
it's
not
at. We're like
rednecks.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
No one gives
At
a
least
shit
it's
about
not what?
Saskatchewan. I'm
Rednecks.
sorry.
True.
Saskatchewan's like that road bump from Alberta
So,
To Manitoba. It
I'm
literally
sorry,
is.
but being the only non-Canadian
Yes,
on the
I'm
stream,
gonna-
I've got to say, for every other non-Canadian watching the stream, what the fuck? Canada? What the fuck?
You literally could like stand at the Alberta border and then see the Manitoba border. Like you just look across Saskatchewan. It's like right because there's just it's nothing. It's
it's
just
nothing. It's just flat.
It's flat.
So,
But
Carbide
keep in
Edge
mind,
asks,
come August, we'll probably have more people in one place than there is in Ottawa.
This is true.
Probably.
No, you'll have
Probably.
3, and there's 3 here.
Oh,
It is a
damn.
really important speed bump.
Plus
Tell me,
4,
give me
plus
one
5.
reason why Saskatchewan is a really important speed bump, because my family grew up there, so I'd like to know why.
Half
it's
my
an
family's in Saskatchewan too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
anyway,
Carbide Edge. I want to get through the last few of these and stop talking about Canada for a few minutes. Much as I love Canada, we could have an entire podcast on Canada. But hey, Carbide Edge asks: is the new Aurora going to be ready for 3.0? Yes.
I think so.
Should
We
be.
don't know, but I mean, it looks like it's coming along really well. It really depends on whether Elwyn can get her done.
Yep. Get her done. Fast Cart asks: is anyone seeing Wonder Woman this weekend?
no.
I see one every day.
Aww.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Aw,
Shantar.
if only I could speak Japanese and tell her what you said.
Me too.
Not this
Damn.
weekend, but I think we're gonna hit it up next week during
Yeah.
the week. Yeah.
So we are going.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah. Haramis asks, what classic adventure do you want modded into Star Citizen, and might Item 2.0 be able to give player-generated missions greater fidelity? Speculation.
What classic adventure do you want modded into?
I don't want a classic adventure, actually.
Star
I want
Citizen
Star
2.0.
Citizen to implement Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, in Star Citizen on a planet, but the planet is actually bombarded by retaliators.
You know how annoying airstrikes are in most games?
Yeah.
Very annoying.
Yeah.
You know what sucks about H1Z1 is they still have airstrikes at the very end of the game. Like, what the hell? You put a crate in like the tiny circle, and then you have to drop airstrikes on it. What the hell?
Yeah.
I can't believe you just said that.
Anyone
It's
wanna-
Z, not Z.
Well, you know what?
You've
You know
just
what?
been ousted
The-
from
no,
Canada.
no. The developers.
Damn.
That is how you pronounce it. You don't pronounce the developer's game differently than what they say because that
I
is what they
say
interpret
it.
it as.
It's always Z.
I say
never
DayZ.
Z. It's always Z.
I'm with you, CS. I disagree with them, but it is Z or Z.
It's like the whole
H1Z1,
GIF.
I
No.
guess.
It's like the whole GIF debate.
Never. Never.
GIF or GIF.
Well, I'm sorry, but in my country, we call the popular Texas band ZZ Top.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mute you, Doom.
So,
Seeing as he can't talk.
David, why are you not wearing your bow tie today? Asks Fastcart.
Fast cart, it's because I didn't have time to put one on between picking him up from the airport, getting here, getting this set up, getting everyone on, writing the intro, and then going live. I didn't have time for one today, unfortunately. Yeah, that's all.
I like the next question, and the next two questions, actually.
I can't see them. They are too tiny.
They want component/item degradation. I don't think it is on the schedule. Best guess for when? Question mark. For this is from Doom
4.0.
Centurion.
4.0.
I best guess for when for item degradation. It's not a priority. I would say I would agree. Basically closer to when the game is done.
Yep.
And CS is laughing at me. Why are you laughing at me, CS?
Doom Centurion.
No, he's yeah.
Wait, how do I undo it? Because I tried to undo it and I just did it again.
Doom Centurion says, "Bah, nice comeback." Not, and CS because he's an adult. Timed him out.
I thought I could just set it to like a certain time period. I didn't
No.
think it would just instantly do it. Oh, rip. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where you be Canadian and say sorry.
Yeah, Canadian
I'm sorry.
Steer, apologize to Doom Centurion.
I'm sorry. There we go.
Hey, good job, Fastcart.
There,
Fast
Fast
Cart
Cart
knows how to
fixed
do
it.
this. Fast Cart, thank you.
Fastcart's here to fix all of our problems.
So Fast Cart also asks, where are the American relay peeps at today? They're all crying.
Actually, we've apparently the world has now decided that Americans are not adults.
Yes, they weren't
So-
allowed out.
They're not allowed out to play. I apologize to all the Americans in the audience, but
We're
yeah.
watching you.
They're drowning their sorrows in
Behave.
coffee.
Kafafe.
Behave.
So, Hermias asks, I saw nothing yet on the coming star map in 3.0 except the Gamescom demo. What do you expect? I basically expect, because they have already said that they're working on the visuals, making it prettier. So I think it'll actually probably be similar to what we have in the WebStar map, but just in-game on your Mobiglast. But we'll see. Should be interesting.
Well, that's gonna just about do it for us for the week. We've finished all the questions, which are great. Thank you all for providing us so many interesting questions.
I think this is a first, though, where we've actually gone through all the questions and managed to end on time.
Yeah, this is good. I like this because
See, this is what happens when Canadians run the show.
it's true. CS, what have you got coming up this week?
Well, I am going away for a week, so I'll still be doing transcription, but it may take a little bit longer than normal. But
TV will be done on time.
ATV will be done on time, yeah. Next week they have the subscriber town hall, so look forward to that on Tuesday. What time, I don't think they announced, but look forward to that. There is no happy hour next week, so if you did not know, happy hour is on a bi-weekly basis now. So there was happy hour yesterday, but there will be no happy hour next week. So there's only Citizens of the Stars, the subscriber town hall, Bug Smashers, and ATV. So.
And I'd like a big shout out to Desmarius, who did Citizen of the Stars last week.
Des Marius is one
Thanks,
of our
Des.
favorite people.
Yeah, Des is awesome.
And Sunjammer. Sunjammer's awesome too.
Yeah.
Did you know that
He
Des Morris
sure
is
is. I love Sunjammer.
starring in his own summer blockbuster soon?
What's
Really?
Oh,
it
yeah?
called?
What's that called?
Oh, I'm sure if you ask him, he will happily provide the trailer poster.
Oh yes, I saw that.
Oh, that one.
Oh, I would. I
Okay,
think we
someone has to link that. Come on, Des, link that.
I haven't seen it. What is this?
It's amazing. Someone took a
I'm
picture
not
that
linking
he
it. I'm not
posted,
linking it.
and they more or less superimposed him into a scene with like the dwarves from The Hobbit.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, that's an.
Yes,
awesome.
it was amazing,
Nice.
Yep.
and he's in like all this cool getup. So
Shiver, what do you got going on? Oh, wait, no, Stormy, what do you got going on? I forgot. where I am.
nothing.
Okay.
Because
hey,
I have-
hey,
I have-
Come on.
I have moved fiction to bi-weekly because honestly, I just don't have enough writers to keep up with it. And we did a fiction post this week, so there will be no fiction next week.
If you are an aspiring fiction writer, bug Stormy,
Yes.
and if it's good enough, we'll post it. Shiver?
This week, as far as I know, it's just the usual for me. Just dead air, I think. Yes.
Wednesdays.
That is
Oh, yeah, no
amazing.
one cares.
Isn't
When?
That's excellent.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at Des.
Oh, I love it. I love that. Nehkara, what do you got going on this week?
I'm hanging out in Ottawa.
Hmm.
No, this is awesome. I haven't had a vacation in a long time, so I'm coming to visit David and the crew here. There's a whole bunch of relay-related folks here.
Yep.
And so I'm gonna hang out here this week. I wanted to note for everybody who cares, in about an hour and
No.
in an hour and 10 minutes, SpaceX is launching CRS-11 for NASA. Or they're going to try. They tried to launch on Thursday, and the lightning tried to get them. And so they're going to try again today. The weather's 60% go, so cross fingers, everybody. But yeah, it's just in a little over an hour. So watch that. It should be cool. If they launch.
Which hopefully they will.
Oh! You might want to tell people to go and watch Astro Pub tonight, because not only is Fast Cut on there, but I believe that Dolvak's on there as
Yeah.
well.
That's so.
Oh, what a disaster that's going to be.
As always, you guys should all go check out the Astro Pub after us. It's part of the
Yeah.
the Star Citizen Saturday block. So go watch Fast Cart and Papa over on the Astro Pub. That's Papa D. That's always a good time.
That sounds like a bad rap name.
Hey, that's
I've-
Papa D.
Yeah, that was far healthier than what I was thinking of. That's far healthier.
I can say that I'm really trying to get something a bit different for next week. I don't know if
I'll
it's...
harass him about it.
Yeah, we're gonna try for it. I don't know how it's gonna work.
You're
but-
finally doing an Amiga podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
But tune in next week because hopefully we'll have something kind of cool. If we don't, then I apologize, and we'll just have the normal us
We
rambling.
should podcast from like outside.
That would be nice. If we could set it up, hey, 6 Seconds Cast might be all of us sitting around there. Except it's probably gonna be raining because it's gonna be raining all week.
In the rain.
Yeah. So keep an eye out for that next Saturday. Keep an eye out during the week. I have a feeling maybe Tuesday night or something, we're going to be trying to stream some more Star Trek Bridge Crew. We're going to try and get Nehkara in there, trying it out. We're going to also try and get Mrs. Erris, who you saw a few times, trying it out as well, because it's great fun. So come and hang out for that. Stay tuned to all the transcripts. Nehkara, do you think there might be an analysis of the Aegis sale?
Yep. I've always planned to write one, especially for this sale because it is different. I wanted to talk about it. Now, I did bring a laptop, so I'm going to try and find some time to write
You've also
this
got a
week.
computer there.
And there's also a computer here.
Did you think
So,
it was?
yeah.
Did you think it would be done soon, but then it ended up taking ages?
Oh. Oh.
I'm so proud
Goodbye,
of myself
everyone.
for that.
No. No.
That's why no one comes to Dead Air.
Bye.
Later, everyone. Have a good week.